Welcome back, Filmholics. My name is Kyle Kendrick, and in this channel you'll find anything and everything filmmaking. So today I'm gonna be reviewing. Wait, it's dark. It's because I'm reviewing the light I usually use. 1 second. And there we go. We have light. Today I'm gonna be reviewing the Aputure Amaran AL-F7. Another thing I have to mention is that this is part of a bigger playlist where I show you guys how to light your YouTube videos. And this is gonna be a review of the light I use just to get you guys a little bit more know-how about how I light my videos with just this light for my face, and then a couple other lights I have that I will review as well. But if you guys want to check that out, go ahead and check the card up here, and let's go ahead and get started. So let's talk specs. So to get started, the Aputure F7 has 256 LEDs with a 95 CRI, and you can also change the color temperature. I'll talk about that in just a second because it's also a little bit different than its older version. The main thing is, as you can see, this light that I'm using right now spreads a lot more. Meanwhile, this has a 45-degree beam angle, which kind of gives it a better look in my opinion. And then now the color temperature, it can go from 3200 to 9500. And that's a pretty good range for just such a small light that can do a lot. Next up, we're gonna be talking about the LCD screen. It is a new feature for this light, and it also has the same knob as before, except it's also a button. So currently it's set to the brightness, which means you could do this and change the brightness that way. And then once you press it, it goes to color temp. And the body has changed as well. There's a lot more vents on each side, and it's a lot slimmer than the older version. And then it also has all the threads only on the bottom and the top. So personally, that is a little bit different because before you could hook up a bunch of these together without having to buy an extra attachment, but now you're gonna have to do that unless you just want to use this one light like I do. Now let's talk about power. It still uses the Sony L batteries, and it doesn't do battery power anymore. Instead, it does Type C and a D-tap, and again, this battery. So the light comes with, of course, the light, the pouch, diffusion panels, and then the mount I'm currently using on the light that I used to use, but now I'm currently using to show you this light. So there's that. Now that you know the specs and what it comes with, let's go ahead and talk about test footage and what it looks like with and without diffusion and with a softbox and whatnot, but let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to be doing 3 different tests. All of them are going to be at 100 brightness, and then also there's going to be one without any diffusion, with a diffusion panel, and then with a softbox without the diffusion panel. And right now you are currently watching it with 100 brightness, like I said, and without any diffusion at all. It makes it a little bit more harsh, but it's still a great light. It's all bright, nothing's overexposed, and also I get to keep my camera in a lower ISO just because of how bright it can go. If I were to go with my usual setting, it would be way too bright, as you can see. Now, putting it back, it looks like this. So I'm just gonna stay still for just a second. So it comes with 2 diffusion panels, one lighter, one a little bit more thick. So let's test these out. And as you can see, it barely does anything with the lighter one. It's a little bit softer, but you know, it's what you can get. So I'm just gonna stay still in just a second. And this is what it looks like with the thicker diffusion panel. And as you can see, it is much softer. It creams this out a little bit more. The shadows aren't as harsh. So I'm just gonna stay still for just a second. And now finally, the last one. The one with just a softbox instead of all the diffusion panels, instead of it being harsh as hell. It is much softer, it's more milky, it creams across my face. And I know, don't you comment it. I know what I just said, I'm not cutting it, because it's true. Look how milky this shit is. It's amazing. Not just my face is bad, but it makes my face look good. So there's that. But I'm just gonna stay still in just a second. Let's put all that footage side by side so you guys can compare what each will look like in each scenario. Now, it doesn't mean any of these different scenarios are good, but the fact is that you can get a lot out of this light. If you need a harsh light, you can get that. If you need a mediumly diffused light, but you want to spread more, you got that. If you want a very soft light, you get a softbox and you can make it look amazing. So each film has its needs on style and just the cinematography of it, just the set design. So it depends on what you need, but you can get a lot of that from this light. Another thing I want to mention between all these scenarios of light is the fact that with the right technique, you can make any light look good anyway. So you just can buy a cheap light like this and practice and practice and practice until you can be good at lighting your set. Now that we got that out of the way, I do want to mention that this is part of a bigger playlist where I explain how you light your YouTube videos. So if you want to check that out, go ahead and check the card up here. And also, don't forget to like and subscribe and dream on.